Oh, Lenvai. Get the Gawne show, or side of a two-side show.
Gneil Kirk Yasalak, Liazaka.
Located between the northwest of England and Northern Ireland, you perhaps may best know it for the Manx tailless cat, world's longest continuous parliament, the Bee Gees, or even the TT races. The Isle of Man is home to the Indigenous Manx language, with around 2,200 speakers amongst 84,000 people. I look at where it was to where it is in Blaine na Gilga. As Siosbaral Gilg, this is Saving Manx. The first record of the number of Manx speakers comes from Henry Jenner's clergy questionnaire from 1874, with 16,200 speakers, although there may have been more speakers earlier than this. But what was the low point for the language? Well, in 1961 there were believed to be only 165 speakers, but the language didn't die out even after the last native speaker's death, as a revival was well underway. Awarded the RBV the island's highest cultural award in 2023, Fiona, originally from Scotland, moved over to the island to teach in the 70s. I heard from her about the language's origin.
Originally it was Common Celtic, which comprised all the 6 Celtic languages that there are nowadays, but of course, like everything else, it began to split into smaller and smaller areas.
One of the earlier uses of Manx was on Celtic crosses in around the 9th century, with inscriptions of Gaelic names. After changes in power between the Celts, Norse, Scottish and English over hundreds of years, it was around 1300 that Manx parted ways from the other Gaelic languages. Soon it became a steady and established language on the island. Religion had a big influence on the language's momentum, with Bishop Wilson pushing the translation of the Bible in Manx. It was complete by 1775.
So the Anglican Church was the thing which really saved the Manx language for future generations, I think.
So what led to the big decline in the language?
I think tourism was the mass reason for it, and the fact that you could earn money speaking English, whereas Manx wasn't worth a penny.
That appeared to be a big attitude of many. Phil Gawne, broadcaster and former national politician, was instrumental in embedding more Manx, its history and culture, into the island's schools.
A huge amount of work had begun in terms of going around recording the native speakers. So you had Eamon de Valera's very fortuitous visit to the Isle of Man in 1946, which then resulted in the Irish Folklore Commission being sent over to record the last of our native speakers.
Phil highlights how Doug Farragher's dictionary was crucial in the revival of Manx, creating modern phrases and assisting with education. Then, in 1991, a Gallup poll showed that 36% of responders favoured the addition of Manx as an optional subject in schools.
Some of the parents were really keen on Manx, and a lot of them were not Manx.
Since 2001, Manx has been taught solely as the first language at Bunscoil Gilga, allowing for a new generation of speakers. From a Year 4 lesson to an A-level qualification, the Manx language is available in all public schools on the island as an optional subject. Cathy Clucas leads the language service and has seen the growth of speakers.
Pretty well knew all the Manx speakers, now you don't. It's like, which I think is a really healthy thing. So yeah, I don't know who everyone who speaks Manx, but mostly the time you would, if you spotted them anywhere, you know you could speak Manx. But now there's a lot of people I don't know that do. And it's great that there's children that are bilingual in the language as well, and families are bringing their children up in Manx, through Manx as well. So that's good. So it's all positive.
Bonus gent. Bonus gent. What's down there?
Part of that growth is Feena. She attended the Manx preschool Munjavega and the Manx medium school Bunscoil Gilgach when she was younger. She now aims to return to that very school to be a teacher herself. I spoke to her about the interest in Manx from the younger generation.
I have a lot of people who are interested in Manx, but I wouldn't necessarily say I have a lot of people around me who are Manx speakers, other than my family are able to speak Manx. But I'm very aware when I do see someone who I know speaks Manx, I try to make sure that I am speaking to them in Manx and using it as much as I can. But yeah, it's definitely something that I like to promote.
Like Feena, Owen, also in his 20s, says he grew up with Manx in lots of parts of his life. He's also been playing traditional Manx music for many years and is a big advocate for the island's language.
Languages are important to the people who speak them, and they're important to all of us because they're part of the rich kind of range of different languages, the diversity that exists across the planet. I think it's more important than ever to celebrate Manx like we are doing this year in Keggin-Gell.
Meanwhile in Sheffield, Chris, also in his 20s, learns Manx each week on a video call while studying for his PhD in speech and language processing. He's been developing the first AI Manx text-to-speech tool with hopes for it to be used to educate learners.
There's some words that it can't pronounce correctly. The word for boat, for example, is beda in Manx, but the system pronounces bada or something like that. So yeah, there's a few words that it still gets wrong, but overall, considering it was trained on 3 hours of data, I think the output is quite good. I truly believe that these technologies can assist, particularly in a education setting. Once those tools are integrated, I really think it can lighten the load on native speakers currently, and with the goal of doubling the amount of Manx speakers over the next few years, I think it can definitely contribute to that.
Ach, wij zien de rauwe geren so shake na onfoglen van Harish as Harish.
Artists have been given the chance to get involved this year as part of Trish 26, an initiative with grants to create artwork inspired by the Manx language. For Alex, this meant several designs for 5,000 stickers, which are being distributed at cultural events and in schools this year.
Our language is such a big part of cultural identity, and I think on the Isle of Man we are so unique here, and having a language is a really big part of that.
Manx really is prominent on the Isle of Man, more than you think it would be. From the signs on the streets to the voices on the radio.
Douglas in the Isle of Man, Shop Radio Vannin. This is Manx Radio. Manx Radio News at 1 o'clock, fast tonight.
It's adding enough that you know you're listening to Manx Radio, but it's little things like you'll hear people say Fastamai leading into the news, so good afternoon, or Moramai, good morning. We'll say this is Manx Radio, Shore Radio Vannin, so they'll hear that, and then immediately on the back of that you've got the English as well, so that you can kind of translate it as you go along. I do a little thing called Word of the Day, so it's dropping little words throughout the week so that they can go, oh, I know how to say the word for door, or I know how to say happy, or I know how to say tired, or little things like that, or the weather, there's different programmes over the week that will do bits of Manx and bits of English, because it's trying to strike the balance between Manx speakers that are listening and English speakers that might want to pick up a little bit of Manx as they go along.
Blaine Nagilga is exposing Manx residents to words and phrases in a way which has not been done previously.
Brie is the Manx word for energy. Nothing at all to do with cheese.
In March, thousands of Manx residents experienced a drone show marking City Day in the capital of Douglas. The lights in the sky may have shown phrases that were already familiar to many islanders. What was clear is that the public are embracing the language. So the people of Man certainly have not said tread allure to Manx Gaelic. Their determination to keep the language alive when it came so close to its demise is remarkable. So for now, Slain Yat.